Hey guys, it's Ash and T.
Yeah, welcome back to Ash and T, or as some people call it, TASH.
Oh, I like TASH. That could work. I feel like it could. But then, are your mom and I PASH? Because I don't like that.
Sounds like a rash,
Maybe
like
we
a
could
rash
be
patch.
Prish.
Prish?
Prish? I don't know. Okay, so we're going to do a little sidebar with Tristan.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I'm doing a little sidebar with you. I had a long conversation.
Tristan's doing a little sidebar with me. I did not get to hear any of the episode with your mom.
Yeah, it was a lot.
So
now,
let's
I want to ask you what happened out there.
Oh my gosh, are you referring to when your sister broke her bracelet and had a meltdown?
How did she break the bracelet?
Well, it's one of those with the elastic thing, and she pulled and pulled and pulled like her dad said not to, and it ended up bursting.
Which one? Go.
Danny.
We are having a conversation.
Danny.
We do not appreciate to be interrupted like this.
So that's perfect.
Exactly.
So, yeah, it was Danny. Danny, and then Gigi obviously tried to rub it in.
She does that so much. Like, Danny will get in trouble, and she'll be like, Danny, don't do that. And, like, I'll get pissed off. I'm like, shut it, Georgia. You're in trouble, too. And she's like,
that's because you favor Danny.
No, I really don't.
Yes, you do.
And if I do, it's because Mom favors Gigi. She does.
You think Mom favors Gigi?
She does.
Do you want me to get on Mom about that?
Actually, a little bit, because sometimes Gigi will, like, I've seen Gigi. She punches Danny like that, and then she'll be like, Danny, stop it. And Mom will be like, Danny, stop it. And I'm like, did you not see Gigi get...
Let me tell you the story. So you were working one night. I think it was a night or a weekend that you were at your dad's probably. Mm-hmm. And so your family was over at our place, and my brother and sister-in-law and the kids were there, Bubba and John. And so I told Gigi, because I wanted all of the kids to sit down and watch a movie because all the adults were trying to go out and hang out around the fire. And so I was like, hey, Gigi, I need you're going to be in charge. So I need you to make sure that everyone...
Don't ever tell her she's in charge.
I know. That might have been a bad move. I didn't know.
She is drunk on power.
She is. Because
she gets it from her mom.
I just wanted her to make sure I love your mom.
But she's a tyrant, is she not?
I love your mom's power. I love her power. Her strength and power is one of the things
That's a
I admire about
very
her.
Nice and roundabout way of saying that she is a tyrant.
She's not a tyrant. I freaking love her. But so I'm like, Gigi, I want her to keep all of the kids sitting down, all of the younger kids. I want her to keep an eye on them. Well, I don't know what happened. I'm standing in the kitchen, and all of a sudden you hear Danny, I'm like, what happened? Gigi slapped her in the face and told her to sit down on the couch. And she was like, I'm in charge. I was like, oh, not like that. You're in charge. Like, encourage the kids, not slap your sister.
No, literally, I was out there, and, like, Gigi was jumping on, like, the seats over there. And, like, I was like, Gigi, don't do that, because your little sister's going to do that, and you guys are going to fall and hit your heads, and you guys are going to cry. And, like, Gigi, like, started mocking me, and, like, she, like, started jumping on them harder.
Gigi's about 14 or so, right? Like, yeah. She's pretty sure she's a teenager.
She's so sure. She thinks that, like, we're, like, 2 years apart.
Yes.
Yeah. But anyways, I was telling her, and, like, I told them to get down, and, like, I grabbed Gigi like this, and went, Gigi? And she started going, fix this! And she looked at Dad, and Dad was like, stop it, Georgia. And then, like, I turn around, and, like, I'm about to tell them, like, just, like, calmly to not do that. And I see Gigi go to Danny. And I go, Gigi, don't punch your sister. And she goes, I didn't punch her. I slapped her.
Yeah, sounds accurate. So what you're saying is you're overcompensating with Danny because you feel like Mom.
I do overcompensate quite a bit, but I understand why Danny does a lot of the things she does. It's because, like, Gigi does things and no one notices, so that she feels like no one will notice if she does something.
Okay.
And then, like,
okay.
And then everyone does notice that, and then she feels like she's, like...
Then she's in trouble, even though maybe Gigi did the same.
Exactly.
Okay. I do appreciate that input because I think it's nice to see how other people see it.
I do try to give Gigi the same love and kindness, though. Like, I'll always take Danny's side until I know the whole story.
Why?
Because I know Danny most of the time won't do some of the things like Gigi says she does. Like, she'll be like, Danny just bit me, and I'd be watching them the entire time, and Danny will do nothing.
Okay. So Gigi's trying to get Danny in trouble.
She actively tries it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're on Danny's side because you feel like she's the underdog.
I'm more on Danny's side because Danny doesn't do a lot of things unless Gigi provokes it. Like, Danny is just like a little Gigi follower.
And it has nothing to do with the fact that Danny looks more like you.
Oh, no. I think they both look like Tony.
I don't know. I feel like Gigi looks a lot like your mom.
Really? I think Tony and, like, Gigi are, like, twins.
Well, it's so weird. Okay, so your mom showed us a picture. It was a picture of you in T-ball,
yeah.
right? Like,
I thought it was Danny.
Yeah. So I was like, oh my gosh, like, so cute, right? And then she shows Jason, and he's like, oh, is she getting better at hitting? I was like, well, it's Tristan, so it's been a few years. I hope she's better at hitting. And he was like, what? I thought that was Danny. I'm like, no, it's look.
You can see the proportions are like longer.
And your mom was like, you can tell it's Tristan because you're way taller than obviously Danny.
Like, I look like Danny in like a year, maybe.
Yeah. Like, maybe 2. I feel like you're being a little sweet with the year. Maybe 2. You got a lot of height.
Well, I would say 2, but like maybe her face like changes like in the 2 years.
Maybe, but there's that, and it is really funny because, and I know the age gap between you guys, that's a lot different than most, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there are quite a few people obviously in your situation, you know. How far apart are you and Gigi?
I want to say 12 years.
Okay.
12 to 13
That's
years.
a big gap. And then you and Danny, 14, 15 years?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it is a big gap. But
the thing is, it's not even like it goes by like oldest, middle, like youngest. It goes by someone Gigi's oldest and Danny's youngest.
Okay, so it's like oldest, youngest.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like separated. I get that, and I can see that. So, you know, obviously my girls are older than the boys.
Well, yeah.
And so I do kind of break them down into sets because it's funny. Deja and Hayden are very similar, and then Kyla and Jackson are pretty similar.
I'm pretty sure they both raised like one and just like decided to call it a day.
I know, and it's so funny because Kyla used to cry when they would come for the weekend. Kyla would cry because Hayden, like, from the time he could walk, as soon as the girls walked in, he would run for Deja. He loved the shit out of her, right? And so, like, Kyla would get so sad, like, he doesn't like me, and it was, he loved Deja. But it's funny because he feels very connected to Kyla now, and so that's kind of funny. Mm-hmm. But then when Jackson was little, he was very connected to Kyla. Mm-hmm. And so it's funny because Kyla was always upset about Hayden, but then Jackson was the same way, you know, like with Kyla. But I do, like, I always say, like, oh my God, Hayden. Okay, Deja, like, I'll tell Hayden that, you know? And so it's funny to see how they are.
It's like the original and the reboot, you know?
Right? No, it really is. It's so funny, and it is the same. But then it's like Kyla's kind of the only one that gets Hayden too in certain things. So it's funny. But I feel the same way as you. Like, sometimes you overcompensate for one because you feel like the other one's getting so much more attention or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
So I get that. I do. I understand that.
It's all about a broken bracelet.
All about a bracelet. I know. But no, it is funny because Mom has brought up how you really favor Danny. And so I've, like, watched for it, and you do, but now I understand why.
Yeah.
There's a reason behind it.
There is. I've watched them. I've taken care of them quite a bit.
I
understand Gigi a lot better than I think Mom does, because Gigi's evil sometimes. She is cynical. She's a mastermind at age 4.
No, you're right. You're right. She really is. Like, she goes like this. So, you know, Danny, poor little Danny, broke her little bracelet.
Mhm.
We're probably going to Hobby Lobby to get her a new bracelet because I'm like, no, I know your
Like,
mom might hate me because I'm like, I just want to replace it.
Honestly,
it's cheap, right?
It's
whatever.
Not that, honestly, I'm with mom. Like, it's not that important. It's just a bracelet.
It is just a bracelet, but I also am like, well, it's just.
I mean, like, yeah, that's very nice of you.
Not,
that's
right?
very nice.
But so they picked up all the little pieces for the bracelet, threw it in the trash, and then Gigi goes, well, what if I lost my bracelet? And then I found it, and I'm like, I still have my bracelet, and I'm like, okay, you're saying that with your sister right here who just broke her bracelet, okay? Like, you could tell she was kind of like digging. Mm-hmm. It is funny to watch her brain because
you know she knows, but she's trying to look like she doesn't know.
Yes, that's exactly what it was. Is she was pretending like, oh, like, whatever, innocent.
Like,
but
what if
she
I
was
talk
totally
about
putting
this
a
slightly
dig.
A little bit louder, but you were eavesdropping.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, it was a total dig.
Yeah.
Poor little Danny.
But I will say, Gigi also pisses me off sometimes because mom will get mad at me for, like, I don't know, not cleaning my room right. And Gigi will come into my room and she'll start yelling at me and she'll be like, Big sis, you're ugly, blah, blah, blah.
You're ugly or your stuff is ugly?
No, she says I'm ugly. Or, like, I'll be talking to mom and she goes, Big sis, who asked? And I'm like,
do you ever consider what if your mom encourages
That's
that?
why. Mom
but
encourages
mom doesn't encourage it with Danny?
She doesn't encourage it with Danny. She'll tell Danny to shut up.
Mm.
So that's why, like, I don't know.
I need to be a fly on the wall.
You need to, like, watch for that because, like, it'll happen and, like Danny, like, because Gigi will do it a lot and then Danny will start to do it and mom will be like, okay, girls, enough. Because she thinks when Danny puts in, like, her input, then it gets, like, too much.
Now we're done.
Because she sees it as, like, Gigi can make 15 complaints about me and Danny makes 1 and mom hears 16 complaints. So she tells them to both knock it off. But then it comes up as, Danny, shut up.
Okay, if Danny, like, when Danny gives you the complaint, do you care?
Not really. Because she
doesn't really know yet. She is not. She's very little still.
She's little. Gigi's older.
Gigi is older, and Gigi is, like, crazy smart.
Yeah.
I think Gigi is crazy smart.
She's crazy smart, and she crazy knows that what she's saying is mean.
Yeah. And I feel like Danny says, like, a lot of repeat things from Gigi. You know, like, she's trying to be involved.
Yeah, maybe or, like, I'll be walking around the house, and Gigi will go, Big sis, you have a mustache right now. And I'm like, ass.
And then what does Danny do?
And then Danny will be like, Big sis. But, because she doesn't know what Gigi said.
Yeah, she's just copying.
She's just trying to copy.
I do see that.
Mm-hmm.
But isn't Gigi, like, oddly smart? Like, she is, right? Like, you almost feel like, when are you going to be smarter than me? Because you're making me nervous.
That's why I want to make her dyslexic.
Girl, no, Gigi. That's actually a D, not a B. That's a D. Dog. Aww. Poor G.
My friend's dyslexic. Hey!
Who is that? My child. That's my child interrupting P's child.
I smacked your kid on the head.
I know. Sibling love. It's a good thing.
He's like my little brother. I never wanted.
Well, you can thank Tony that you never had a little brother.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Honestly, Max has been in my life longer than that kid has.
I know. I'm so sorry about that.
It's all right.
How are you doing?
I'm trying not to think about it.
That's good.
I mention him in conversation and I have to correct myself. Like, I'll be like, Max had the stinkiest breath.
You know, he took it really hard.
Oh my God.
Did your mom tell you? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I just told him because I didn't want him to come over and be just, like, shocked out of nowhere, right? Which I'm glad I did because I didn't realize the reaction that I was going to get. But Hayden thought he was joking because he was so upset. He was just like, seriously? And he, like, got all upset and he started storming upstairs. And Hayden's like, Mom. And I was like, he's not joking. Like, he is serious. Like
I thought like maybe like when
He's
people like
serious.
when that happened, they're being like a bit dramatic. Like I'm like this is really effed up of me to say, but like when Reagan died, like I really didn't feel much other than just like that's sad for them.
yeah,
What
but you
happened to
were
me?
very cute. You were still very cute about it. You were. You know, when we lost our dogs, you were very sweet. And we're like, are they giving them a memorial stone? Which we still need to do. I know you guys already have stuff. I know it's horrible. I need to get my dogs trained to because where the dogs go out sometimes they'll go potty. I don't want them pottying on my Reagan River Snow. I mean Reagan Brinkley. Oh gosh, River, please. I'm not even Catholic, but please.
I'm not even religious.
But please, River, be good. But you were very sweet about them.
I wanted to be respectful because I really
You're
was
so
like,
cute. It is hard.
oh my god, when
It
it happened
is.
with Max, literally we were sobbing our eyes out in the room, like, and we put on our glasses, and I was like, no one knows we were crying in there.
Right. So, how old were you when you guys got Max?
I was like 2 or 3, and he was like 2 or 3.
So, pretty much from when you can remember, Max was there.
Yeah.
Which is like I was telling your mom, like, obviously I've lost pets, but I've never had I had Brinkley. He was 1 and he was like 14. So he was old, there were a lot of years, but I never grew up with a pet, which I think is a little different, being on the adult side, like it is hard and there's all of that. But for you, I feel like there was a lot of growing up with him. He was a lot of that, that, I don't know, but there was.
I'm not crying.
I know you're not. I'm trying to continue on so that you don't. But something that I did hear the other day, actually, very random because it was after Max, is that your dogs would still want you to love other dogs, and you should, and you still need to have those relationships and like if you can rescue a dog or whatever it is, still do that. You don't want to
Max
shut
was like a
yourself
rescue.
off. He was. And even
literally off the
Falcor,
streets.
Yeah.
Well, no, we got Max off the streets.
I know, so it is a little different, but you guys did also rescue Falcor from potentially going to a shelter or, whatever. I call it a shelter. I know it's like SPCA, but but you did.
Legally speaking, it's a shelter.
Yeah, right. So, you did save him, and that is still an important thing it is hard after the loss. Like after we lost Reagan and Brinkley, I was like, I don't want any more pets. I don't want to do it. No, I'm done. Like your heart's so broken, but then your stinking mom told me, well, you should foster puppies then. You should help them. They need help. It's COVID, blah, blah, blah. And then there comes Truly and River.
What the fuck?
I don't know who that was.
Sorry. Oh, by the way, Mom said I'm not allowed to curse. Well, she said you shouldn't curse on the mic. So I've been saying boob.
Is that your curse?
Yes.
Okay. I like it. What else do you have to share? Not that.
Okay, what were you guys talking about with reincarnation?
So, super weird, and I know you're not very religious.
Yeah.
But, so, me personally, based on what the Bible says and that type of thing, I don't believe in reincarnation. So I was asking Tony, because he grew up going to a Catholic school, and what are your thoughts on it? Because I watched this documentary, and the first episode was people who were declared dead, like clinically dead, and they were able to bring them back. So these
people that are pronounced dead,
yes,
but came back,
and they're able to resuscitate them, and they come back.
My friend's brother was announced as dead for like 14 minutes.
Okay, does he ever talk about his experience?
He said he saw nothing.
Really?
Literally, like nothing.
Okay, so it goes over like these people share what they saw, right? Their experiences.
A lot of people have said that they see like nothing.
And then other people say they do see things.
And then there's some people that are like, I saw an elephant and he came to me and he said, "You must live," and I came back.
Oh, I've never heard that, but I have heard like it was very calm and peaceful. I was walking through like a forest, and then people like spirits told me that it wasn't my time and I need to come back. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then one of the episodes was like mediums.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't know. Some of them I feel like you can kind of believe the stuff they're saying.
Mm.
Like maybe they have a connection with like spiritual.
That's what confuses me, because I don't necessarily think that ghosts exist. Because if they did exist, there'd be a lot of
ghosts.
Dead white people. Because like there was a lot of like dead like slaves. So like, don't you think that their ghosts would be like? Rrr.
Maybe, I don't know.
So
like, here's the weird thing, is that when I was about 11 years old, I was taking a shower, and in the bathroom. So the bathroom was a pretty large bathroom, and
okay, no need to brag.
No, I'm just saying the shower. I grew up very poor. We were living with my grandmother at the point. Okay.
Okay.
So the shower, it was a glass shower, and it was kind
poor.
of like a portion. We were poor. We were living with my grandma, you rat. So it was like a portion of an octagon, right? So it was like one side, one side, one side. It was all glass, and there was like a mirror on the wall, like from the shower to the wall, and then a mirror that way. And the master closet was over here. And I was showering, whatever, washing my hair, and I look up and I see this girl. And she's just standing in the closet, and she's still, and she's just standing there, her hair's down. She looked like maybe late teens Indian girl, like Native American Indian. And she was just standing there.
Indian? Listen, I don't have any problem. Like, okay, the reason why I have a problem with the word Indians refer to Native American people is because it's just stupid. Christopher Columbus was just an idiot.
Indian. My husband's Indian. They have Indian family. They call themselves Indian. They're Native. They call themselves Indian.
Like, it's just stupid. It's grammatic. It's, like, incorrect because Christopher Columbus is a dumbass who thought it was India.
Right, but that's what they call themselves.
I'm just saying.
I think it's just
correct.
Stupid. You know,
I'm not even caring. I don't care if it's politically correct. It's just stupid.
Whatever.
It's like if I said Christianity and Catholicism, I confuse them with each other. They're the same thing. And it's like some people are like, oh yeah, you can say that.
Catholicism is Christianity.
Yeah, but like I said that once, and like a lot of people were like, they're different. There's difference.
No, there's a difference between Catholicism and non-denomination, but Catholics are Christians.
Yeah.
So I know my boys, I have to explain that kind of thing. They get a little confused about what the difference is.
But like a lot of people get confused with like the difference between Indians and like Native Americans.
So back in 1996, Tristan, there wasn't a deal
back in the day,
all of this. Okay,
back in the day, Christopher Columbus used to fuck sea creatures.
Was a sensitive little baby like you guys are now. Okay,
I'm not being sensitive. I'm saying Christopher Columbus is a stupid jackass who used to fuck sea animals and thought that they were mermaids.
Hey, your generation really is a bunch of pussies, though.
You're a bunch of pussies.
We're not.
You got mad that Aunt Jemima lost her little staple in the makeup industry.
You know what? Aunt Jemima's family was actually upset about that. So look into that.
Okay, but your generation, that's her, yeah.
My generation.
Your generation's soft.
Oh my gosh.
You guys
are you serious?
Snowflakes.
You guys are like, oh my gosh, you said gay. Oh my gosh,
they're like
Indian.
No, I'm saying Indian is wrong, not because of political reasons, it's because you're just stupid.
No. I'm saying back in that time that
whatever, let's go back to the little girl in the shower, the little ghost girl.
Yeah, there was a little ghost. Aside from that, I've never seen anything.
I will say,
but I did see that.
I will say the only time I ever really did something like that was like I was just going to the restroom, like I was literally
here,
and like I was literally like going to like the bathroom there, and like I was wiping off my head, and like I looked up, and there was like a tallest man, like he literally like Like imagine this
in your bathroom.
Like imagine this is the ceiling, and he was literally like standing like this, and like I freaked out. I closed my eyes. I turned around, and there was nothing there, and I looked back, nothing. And then,
okay, I feel like that's a very similar experience.
and
then you called me out for lying, but you had the same experience.
Well, I was just like, maybe I'm tired, and I looked in the washer, and I saw the same thing. Like, you know when like the washer like reflects something?
Yes.
And I looked in the washer, and the same thing was there, and I looked back, and there was nothing there. So I was like, maybe I'm going crazy.
No.
And then I woke up one morning. It was like 3 a.m. Like it was early. I woke up and I heard a baby crying. This is hella before we even had Gigi and Danny. Hella before. And I heard a baby crying coming from Mom and Tony's room. And I walked in. They were like dead asleep. And like, you know how Mom wakes up like early to like go work out and everything?
Yeah.
She was like dead asleep. And like, I just heard a baby crying in there. And as soon as I opened the door, nothing. Stopped. And then I closed the door and I started crying again. And like, I opened it again and like, they were dead asleep. And so I went back to sleep. And like, I woke up like a couple hours later. And Mom was like, something happened. Like, I couldn't wake up this morning. And I was like, okay. And for a while, I used to hear like a woman screaming, like
in here.
No, like out in like the streets. It would literally be like, and like screaming bloody murder, and I like it freaked me out hella, like because I get like a lot of anxiety.
Yeah.
And so like I'd be like, Mom, do you hear that? And she'd be like, what? And she would, like, I remember it happened when we were eating dinner, like, right at that dinner table. And I was like, do you guys hear that? And they literally were just like, nope.
See? Freaky stuff.
It freaked me out. But
so I don't know. Like, I don't know.
I also told Hayden one Halloween, which was true. Right. He thought I was probably effing with it, but it was true that one time I was walking home from school, earbuds in, and, like, I heard people talking, like, right behind me, but, like, you know, like, you walk, and, like, you don't want to, like, check to see if there's people behind you, because, like, that's, like, weird.
Yeah, understand.
And, like, but you can tell that they're there, at least. Like, it's not like you ever, like, are like, there's someone behind me, but they're not talking. Like, no, they were talking and stuff.
Yeah.
And, like, I was turning the corner, like, right before, like, you get to the park. Like, I was turning the corner, and I was like, I'm gonna see who they are, because they've been, like, on my ass for a while. And I turned around.
Nothing. No one.
And, like, I was like, so I went around to see if, like, they maybe, like, took a different path.
Nothing. See? And that is so weird, but it's weird when your beliefs and then experiences kind of...
Like, I don't believe in ghosts, but I don't know how to explain that.
Yeah. I know. I'm with you. And that's what I was telling Tony. Like, I don't believe in reincarnation, but based on the stuff that I watched, it's super confusing. So, like, what is that? So that's what we were talking about, reincarnation. You know, before the whole bracelet breaking and the whole crumbling life ended situation.
Maybe the beads got reincarnated.
Maybe they're in the trash, so we'll see what they come back as.
They're going to come back as 4... Man. I forgot.
4 rings?
4 rings, and someone in this family is going to get married, and they're going to have to choose between 4 rings.
Between 4 men. It's going to be wild.
Whoa.
Kidding. Okay, well, we're going to go. Thank you, Tristan, for this interview.
Of course.
I love you so much.
Thank you for being on my podcast.
You're welcome. Anything for you, boo. Don't tell Hayden I called you boo, because he'll get upset. But anywho, I'm going to go get your mom so we can record.
Okay.
Love you.